Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lieutenant Alyssa Turner, and today I will be reviewing Denis Waitley's book, Empires of the Mind: Lessons to Lead and Succeed in a Knowledge-Based World. Today I'm going to discuss Denis Waitley's credentials, and I'm going to identify his level of expertise and his experience in writing. This will show you the strengths of evidence supporting Waitley's expert opinion. We'll then review some of the key concepts that were identified in this book, and then I'll wrap things up by discussing the relevance of this book for military leadership and also for family nurse practitioner leadership. So who is Denis Waitley? I'll start by telling you that he graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy and he received a PhD in human behavior psychology. This may lead you to think that he's just another educated author out there, but Waitley is different. He authored a total of 16 books, and of those 16, 5 were global bestsellers. Not national bestsellers, but global bestsellers. And he didn't stop there. Waitley made 10 different audiobooks that were translated to 14 different languages, and then he sold over 10 million copies. Talk about rolling in the dough. Well, not only did he author 16 books, 5 being global bestsellers, and making 10 audiobooks in 14 languages, but he has also been a keynote speaker for 30 years. People truly value what he has to say and trust his opinion. Evidently, this guy is credentialed to share some pretty impressive information. Alright, let's dive into the book Empires of the Mind. This book was published in 1995, and Waitley wrote that for 20 years prior to publishing it, he was dedicated to studying, observing, and exploring change in order to develop an expert opinion. Can you imagine how much change he witnessed over 20 years? He said he traveled most days of the week, evaluating all aspects of change, self-knowledge, and success. So where would you go to evaluate these things? He chose a variety of places such as Fortune 500 boardrooms. He went to NASA control rooms, Olympic athlete locker rooms, and even high school cafeterias, to name a few. He was really dedicated to understanding the concepts that he was going to write down about in this book. Now, I already mentioned that Waitley was a keynote speaker, but I want you to understand that he didn't just speak in a few events here and there. People have taken such value in his work and what he had to say that he conducted over 150 3-hour seminars, each having thousands of executives, middle managers, small business owners, and entrepreneurs in attendance. Waitley is a world-renowned motivational speaker. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Denis Waitley, well, he didn't just jot some information down in order to publish this book. He methodically and meticulously gathered his thoughts and ideas to formulate what he believed was the key to self-knowledge and success. Now, what did he come up with? Waitley narrowed his 20 years of researching change, self-leadership, and success to 14 fundamentals. Change. He described how the American culture is changing dramatically, and if you cling on to old attitudes and the old way of doing things, you're doomed. So we must be innovative and not fearful of change. Responsibility. The book discusses how Americans are blessed with the freedom of choice, but aren't necessarily aware of the power of their decisions. We have to understand that yes, there are some things out there beyond our control, but we should invest in things that matter and that we can make a difference in. Benchmarking. I really liked how Waitley addressed how some of the things that we may be interested in are not the same as what we are talented in, and many people never make that connection. We should find our talents and utilize them. Integrity. This is identified as the absolute bottom line, and he questions what it would be like if everyone was simply honest. What a concept. Integrity is identified as the foundation of true self-respect. Core values. This fundamental is based on evaluating how you measure up, evaluating your own personal value, and strengthening your self-esteem. Vision. Learning from past experiences and utilizing these experiences to project a positive future. Even if setbacks occur, never lose sight of your goal. Attitude. We have a choice each and every day, multiple times throughout the day, to be negative or to be positive. We should choose to be positive, and great things can happen. Passion. We should all have a purpose and pursue it with a passion. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, what's the point? Power. Waitley discovered that the most powerful individuals are the ones that participate in work but they don't need to be branded as the leader. He also identifies the importance of communication and listening. But overall, he says that a powerful leader is the one who asks, "What can I do for you?" Knowledge. Waitley states that it's important to be technologically savvy while maintaining human connections. I was surprised that he didn't key in on pursuing an advanced education under knowledge, but that was addressed throughout other areas of the book. But when he talks about knowledge as a fundamental for self-leadership, he specifically means to embrace the new wave of information technology. Skills. He may say skills, but he more so writes about habits and displays ways of changing thoughts that will ultimately control those habits. Resilience. Disappointments and failures are inevitable, but should be utilized as corrective feedback, not losing sight of your future success. Love. In healthy relationships, friendships, marriage, and even customer service, if others are able to see that you have their interests at heart, you earn their trust. And then we come to service. This is another fundamental in which Waitley identified service, but he discussed that our time is limited. He said that what we do today creates tomorrow's true promise. All right, I know that seemed like a lot of information, but after 20 years of research, Waitley determined that change, responsibility, benchmarking, integrity, core values, vision, attitude, passion, power, knowledge, skills, resilience, love, and service are the keys to success. Ultimately, in this book, Waitley reviews 3 things. First, this book teaches its readers how to improve their career and achieve personal goals through self-leadership. Second, it emphasizes the discovery and utilization of inner passion. And lastly, it reveals the importance of finding inner strengths and utilizing them for personal motivation, achievement, and success. Waitley said success isn't the destination or the journey. He says success is the way we travel to get there. Now, what is the relevance of this for military leaders? Well, military and medical communities share a common perspective on the significance of leadership. Because when it comes to leadership, if mistakes occur, people can die. This is why military leaders develop core values and inspire every military member to instill them in their daily work routine. Waitley's concept for self-leadership provide an extension of military core values. They can be beneficial by maximizing personal potential and being able to effectively adapt to novel challenges. It's simple. It's just self-improvement. I found this quote in one of my books and I really liked it and wanted to share it with you. It says, "There is no more critical time than now for advanced practice nurses to take the lead in changing the healthcare system." With that being said, Denis Waitley's book applies to family nurse practitioners because change is an obvious fundamental that they need to embrace and even promote with evidence-based practice. Nurse practitioners are taught to lead healthcare reform by implementing innovative ways of being and interacting, with specific identification of personal competencies that focus on self-awareness and also self-management. This is precisely what Waitley reinforces through his book. I would also point out the significance of responsibility. Family nurse practitioners have an important role in many people's lives. They must invest in making a difference and be aware of the power behind their decisions. And then there's love. I strongly believe nurse practitioners should really embrace love. It's important for them to take a genuine interest in others, specifically their patients, and gain their trust. So overall, the fundamentals in this book for self-leadership, like change, responsibility, and love, they can be utilized by family nurse practitioners to find their inner strengths and use them for personal motivation, achievement, and success. This can help them to change the healthcare system and provide the best possible patient care. Well, today I told you a little bit about Denis Waitley, and I hope I rendered him as an expert author, having experience of writing 16 books with 5 global bestsellers and 10 audiobooks, as well as being a very credible source of knowledge and experience with 30 years of keynote speaking. I reviewed his 14 concepts, and I'll mention them to you again: change, responsibility, benchmarking, integrity, core values, vision, attitude, passion, power, knowledge, skills, resilience, love, and service. Then I identified the military leadership ways of benefiting from Waitley's book by learning to maximize personal potential and inspiring others. Lastly, I discuss with you how family nurse practitioner leadership can benefit from learning to identify inner strengths for personal motivation, achievement, and success. I hope you've enjoyed my review of Empires of the Mind, Lessons to Lead and Succeed in a Knowledge-Based World, and I would highly recommend checking out this book for yourself. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Here are the 4 references I use throughout my slides.